Hey there, thanks for joining us at the Rabbit Hole of Research, where you'll learn a few facts that you can impress your friends with at a party.
Hey, welcome back to the Rabbit Hole of Research. Down here in the basement studio, we are all crewed up. You have me, Joe.
You got Nick.
We've got Nick.
Georgia.
We've got Georgia.
And you got Mary.
We've got Mary. And we have a very special return guest.
Yeah. I'm Wes. Was here for what was the episode I was on last time?
The simulation.
Simulated.
Simulation hypothesis.
Yep,
yes.
There you go. Yep. So, and this one is just as interesting and hard to define, and that's the hive mind. So we'll be going over
From what I've heard, this episode is called the Hive Mind.
the hive mind.
That's what the Hive has been telling me.
That's what the hive's been
Yeah.
telling me. That's right. Yeah, I
You
was
can't
at the
trust
door.
the hive, though.
I was at the door before Nick rang the doorbell. That doesn't
Maybe you
work.
can.
I did ring the doorbell. What are you talking about?
So,
I think the
It's not my
doorbell's
fault the
broken.
doorbell wasn't working.
well, that's a different story. There's no doorbell in the basement studio. So
you
so
think.
I got my little open. Let me get y'all into it.
Yeah.
Set the mood, okay? Right now, you're having a private thought. Maybe it's about what you're going to eat later, something you never say out loud, some new project idea. Maybe trying to predict what interesting thing I'm going to say next. But these private thoughts are yours. That private space, that voice sealed inside your skull is so fundamental to being human that we barely notice it. Your body can be touched, your words recorded, your actions watched, but in your head, you're alone. Now imagine that space has a door, and something has its ear to it listening, wanting in, not necessarily to control you, just to join you, to think with you, to invite you into something larger than yourself. Would you let them in? Would that be transcendence? What if you had no choice? Would that be the most terrifying thing you've ever heard? But what if I told you that sealed room of a brain isn't what you think it is? Your brain is 86 billion neurons communicating, making decisions without you. Hello, involuntary nervous system. And you have little to no say. Your gut has 500 million neurons. That's your enteric nervous system, or the second brain, along with billions of bacterial cells, your gut microbiome, making another set of decisions you never agreed to. And that special private voice you think of as you is just a story your brain tells itself, slightly after the fact. So if all this communication goes on without you knowing, right inside your own private cellular space, the question science fiction keeps asking isn't really whether a hive mind is possible, it's whether you'd even know if you were already in one.
Interesting.
Ooh.
I mean, we
Nicely
essentially
done.
are a hive, yeah.
Kind of like the simulation hypothesis.
That's
Is
you can
that
get
your
there, that's right.
inspiration?
That was, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I knew Wes was coming back, and you'll probably make our way there, but
Yeah,
What you
I
think?
may have changed my opinions a little bit on the simulation hypothesis since, over a year ago, but let's talk about the hive mind.
Wait, what changed it? You can't leave it like that.
yeah,
The episode, right?
that's right.
So for those who hadn't listened to the episode that I was on, I was pretty adamant about believing we were probably living in a simulation.
And that was just for folks to catch up if you want to go back and listen. That was the first episode of season 2, so episode 26. So, yeah, you can go back and check it out. But yeah, Wes was a defender of
Yeah.
the simulation.
Well, I don't know. It just, I try to always look at things logic-based and based on the evidence that's available. And I don't know. I have my doubts.
Yeah.
So you haven't completely stepped away from it, but you're taking a
You're not
step
as
back.
sure. You're not as like
It
adamant.
happens. Yeah. You got to
Yeah.
be curious.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think there's a good way to test it.
What's that?
That would be interesting.
You have a
Computer and program.
Oh, we don't have access to
Yeah,
that.
right. That's
Oh,
They
darn.
don't
I
listen
have
to
a joke
us.
for this,
They
but I
don't
feel like it would
listen.
be
all right.
very inappropriate.
Okay.
They don't listen to us.
yeah.
All right. Oh, darn it.
Control.
Okay.
I
Alt
went,
delete.
you went in program. I would like cheat codes, please, so that I
Okay.
can.
What if
Tomorrow
that
I wake up
worked,
with
right?
yeah, it'd be awesome.
I've tried to glitch through walls so many times. It never works.
Yeah,
I
that-
just end
that
up
ex-
like the Kool-Aid man.
That explains
Too
a lot.
much beer.
Not enough.
Okay. Right. Okay.
But yeah, I think coming back to the hive mind, and somewhat that gets into consciousness and what is it and how undefined that is. There still is no real good scientific explanation of it.
And there really is examples of hive mind, especially in
nature.
different animals.
There are. So I mean, I think there's. If I can you want me to give a list for jumping right
I mean,
now? So,
I'm just
bees
saying-
for one.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
Hive mind.
and they have shared coordination of their activities. Do they have shared consciousness? Right.
well,
That's maybe the definition of a hive mind is that shared consciousness.
I was
shared
going to
goals.
say, is that the definition? Because
we don't even know
Right.
if insects have consciousness the way we think about it.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
or that they don't.
I mean,
Or that they don't.
you
Right.
also don't
Right.
know if
Right.
the person next to you has the consciousness that you do.
Well, sometimes
Well, you can.
Well,
Hey.
we're all
I think-
having our own
yeah,
experience.
Right. And I think you infer that your fellow humans have consciousness, right, by their actions and what they do. So that's what goes on there. And for those without video, we don't have video. Nick and Georgia are sitting next to each other. So,
Oh, thank you,
Giant
Joe.
grab ass.
yeah. Well,
Thank
you guys
you.
are laughing
Thank-
over there at your own private joke, not letting the listeners
Private joke.
in.
That was a very
So,
open one.
yeah.
George just immediately
I'm
went.
not appreciating.
But I think the hive mind has a unified brain, right? So they have a unified.
So in the model that's most in the pop culture right now, in the pluribus model, it's just one
Right.
consciousness.
That's right. Mhm.
And you can think of all the humans that are in the hive mind as just appendages
Yep.
of this one
Mhm.
consciousness. That's
Right.
what it is.
Yep.
it's a
So-
single.
So like
Yeah,
your brain, I
entity.
think you have many neurons, many cells that make it up, but really they're coordinating themselves to act. And the insects use social colonies or ants and bees. And so that's their behavior is coordinated.
They're just very good at communication, is what you're
That's
saying.
exactly right. And usually through pheromones, wiggle dances, or waggling their bodies.
Ooh,
to
what
direct.
is this?
So going to a
Directions.
club, you just see a bunch of people wiggle dancing.
That's it.
Maybe
wiggle
that's
dance.
that's what we're missing. We need to
We're
do
missing
more
the wiggles and the waggles.
wiggle
Yeah.
dance.
Did you ever
Yeah.
see the Mystery Science Theater episode with the Deadly Bees?
No.
No. I haven't seen that one.
And Mike Nelson dresses in a bee costume.
Oh.
Yeah, he said, well, bees communicate through movement and
Mhm.
odor.
That's right.
And then there was a little pause. I'll just be using movement. So he's just adorable. He's in his little bee costume. You can see it on YouTube. He's in his little bee costume and he wiggles this way and he wiggles that way.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I think the other one is the networked intelligence. So we think of the web, the World Wide Web, the internet, distributed computation across many nodes that come back. And then, as Wes was saying, you have the sci-fi kind of model where you lose yourself and you just become one shared mind, one shared consciousness. And we can get into consciousness. And what
And
we
the
think that is,
interesting thing about pluribus, and
I mean, you have to go no spoilers. Don't forget.
right. I think the interesting thing about pluribus is you're questioning as you're watching
Mhm.
it if the individual still has their individual consciousness or is it just completely a group consciousness. And I'm not saying that I could tell
No.
by watching yet. I don't think.
There's no individual consciousness in the human appendages that are part of
I
this
don't know.
consciousness.
I think
No,
there's. I think they've
there's
shown,
one consciousness.
but they've showed a few hints at maybe.
I think
Army
it
of
was
Darkness, you get a hand
Yeah.
that has its own consciousness that
right.
gets
It's
cut
separate.
off
Right.
and then
Right.
turns into a whole
Right.
nother body.
Well, sure. I mean,
Just
that's,
saying.
that's a different universe. I was just talking about that.
And like you have disembodied limbs. So the thing on Wednesday, right?
Sure.
That's a disembodied kind of entity that.
Or phantom limbs, bringing it into a more grounded reality, where I had a great uncle who lost his whole leg and he was like, I have an itch on my knee. And I'm like, you don't have any. And he goes,
Mhm.
I do.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
they do.
I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about
Yeah.
anymore.
And it
Right.
goes back to your brain just making up that story for you. Like if something should be there and you should feel something and
Right.
now it's having that there. But yeah, and we're talking about Pluribus and that show was Apple Plus. You probably
Highly recommend it.
should go, you maybe stop here, go watch some episodes because we can't guarantee we won't spoil something.
I mean, I've watched absolutely none of it.
Yeah, so Nick, he'll yell at us. But
What?
the show
Yeah.
essentially is we get a message from some other species in the universe. We decode the message. It leads to some sort of genetic code. We synthesize that code. And then that leads to everyone who gets access or gets infected with that code, this piece of genetic material. They then join this hive mind. And the hive's goal is for happiness, everyone to be maximum
Well-
defined happiness.
I think that's a
And-
byproduct of it, but I think their genetic imperative is to
Over.
retransmit the signal.
That's the other part, right?
Again, that's
right,
their
right. Under the guise of
ultimate goal.
happiness is to right. So the conflict in the show is that there are 12 individuals or 13.
Well,
that-
there were 13,
Right.
but Kazamayu decided
right,
to
right.
rejoin
No
young
spoilers.
Peruvian girl. Sorry about the spoilers.
But yeah,
Okay, it's still
the show
well-
then is you have the main protagonist, Carol, is, I don't know, one of the angriest humans.
So it really
alive
is.
that-
I think it's really a character study of Carol.
it
is
can
the
be, yes.
show.
Yes.
And then there is other characters.
Individuality.
There are other
right.
characters that haven't been, that are also immune. And now, and at certain points, these people that haven't been taken into the hive mind are interacting. And that also.
That's interesting.
It's a really well made show.
Yeah, really good. And explores
But
yeah.
it does bring up all these interesting.
Debates about would you prefer to be unjoined? That's what they call
Right,
it,
right,
joined
right.
or unjoined.
Right.
Right.
Or would
Right.
you prefer to be part of the hive mind?
Yeah.
And I see some upside to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're leaning more to joining?
I don't know. I'm like, the questions come up. Well, you'll lose your individuality, and I'm like, well, I'm an artist, and
Right.
I don't know.
Right. When you lose your
Right.
creativity.
I lose
There
my
is no creativity. I mean, that's
it.
the thing about AI and generative AI.
I don't know if you lose your
doesn't-
creativity because all those people's skills and thoughts are
But it's not
still
yours.
there. They're part
That's
of the
not-
hive mind.
but
So
it's-
could
right.
it also be that everyone in the hive becomes more creative?
But the hive just
That's a
directs
thought.
their energy.
All they're doing, at least in the pluribus model, is working towards their goal
Hmm.
and putting the planet back to
Well,
right.
that's the-
So
They
is
won't
this
kill anything.
Right.
that far off of a cult? Like
Except
cults
it's
end up getting more
worldwide.
hive mind
Yes.
than anything
They
else.
That's
do.
a really good
The problem
point.
is that with the cult, you don't truly merge. So at any moment you can actually uncult yourself and go, hold on, what am I doing? I'm
But
not
yeah,
going
the
to go that
likeliness
far.
of getting into
and
a
that
cult
happens.
and then getting deep
Right.
into a cult, you tend to not have that
Right.
ability
There
to
are people that do though,
disassociate
right? That's
yourself
But that's
from the
a
yeah,
small
yeah,
number.
yeah.
Look at Jamestown.
right.
I mean, how did all those people do what they did?
Yeah.
It really was like a hive mind.
But still, I think that goes more to the Borg model. So the Borg aren't so in
Okay,
first
what's the Borg
so the Borg
model?
is a race
Is
in
this-
the Star Trek
I was going to say
universe,
Star Trek.
and they're very technologically advanced. And what they do is any new species they come in contact with, they assimilate into this kind of cyborgish hive neurological wetware hive mind. And you have initially it was a true hive mind, but in I think it was the First Contact movie, they had a queen all of a sudden, and that queen had independent thought outside of the hive. So therefore, that's following more the bee model, this eusocial kind of model, not a true hive mind model. So Blorbus actually is following the true. There is no leader, there is no queen, or that we know of. I mean, I could come up, not spoiling
Right.
anything.
There could be more things coming up later on.
But really,
Right.
we haven't seen that. So the model presented, that's more true hive. The Borg model,
It truly is like a commune.
right,
Like
right. So
like everybody is equal.
right. So I think the cult is more like that where you have a queen
So
figure.
there has to be a main head,
Right.
though. For there to be a hive, someone has to have that
You don't.
central
it's,
intelligence.
No, not
that's the whole thing.
necessarily.
It's spread out.
'Cause if
Yeah, no head.
there
That's
has to be,
but
So
the
you just have a
different-
directive. Your directive is
then who's giving the directive?
it's encoded.
It's the whole-
He
So
follows
the
something
whole
directive.
inside you
collective
has
decides.
that directive.
And it's in everybody.
So
So it's a
it's-
shared conscious effort.
So
Yes.
a body
Right.
inside
Right.
everybody that has that.
And there's no Jim Jones.
That's
right.
There's no
I-
cult leader.
There's
I
no
don't
cult
believe
leader.
it. Like, again, I haven't seen the show, but I'm already like,
It
There
is
has to
very
be
hard
something-
To
But
wrap
why?
It is hard to wrap
I
your
think
mind around.
you're filtering that through. See, this is that individual. You want
Yes.
you want to maintain that, and you're like, there has to be a leader because secretly you want to be that leader.
I mean,
It's
We
a-
should have watched episode
I would make a
one
great
before we
cult leader,
recorded.
guys. Like,
We
I
might have to
understand
pause
that.
and go get episode 1 watched.
Yeah,
Come-
we should- we
It
should
would be a
still watch
super
it.
nice cult. There would be lots of coffee and
Yeah.
art, and
Well,
it would be great. Okay.
What I think is so interesting is everybody gets everybody's knowledge.
Yes, right. Yep,
So,
yep. So
you
have
don't
that.
need to worry about getting a plumber because every single human being has the plumbing
Right. Right.
knowledge.
Yeah, or fly the
Or-
space shuttle,
Or
Yeah.
rock, yeah.
perform surgery. Anybody
So
could
there's
do
no-
it.
There's no scarcity, so you
And there's no, I want to say class system, but
Hierarchy?
there's no hierarchy
Right,
because
right.
everyone is the same.
Mhm.
And this is only season 1, yeah?
season
Yeah.
1, yeah. I wonder what
Or
like
2
our,
seasons.
a friend of the show, Amran, who did the finance of the future in this kind of hive model, what's the friction, right? Because he said every society you need to have that economic friction to
As
move
far
goods
as
and
the
move trade. So in a hive, we were trying to think of examples where that broke down, and we didn't in the episode. But now the hive, a true hive mind as set up, you don't have any economic friction. You just do whatever you need to do. Oh, I
So
need to
It's
be a
if,
plumber. You just do
if
it.
there really
Right.
truly was communism, or is it Marxism? I get confused on my isms.
Ism. So
But this would be the true communism. Like every single
Right.
person is exactly equal. And you know what I mean?
if you a community, yes. So if
And
you're
think
talking about a
about that.
community
And
centric,
for this show, it's
goal.
not just a little community, it's the whole
Whole world.
entire
the
entire
whole world
world.
here on Earth, but it seems to be connected to their whole.
Right. It
universal
seems to be an
Kepler
alien.
22, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We
So-
don't even know
Yep.
if the Keplers are still alive. They transmitted that signal 600 years ago.
Right.
Wait, can you refresh my memory about what that is?
So we know that in pluribus, the signal originated from Kepler 22 solar system
Mhm.
around that star. And
Is
it
that
was-
a real star?
It is.
Okay.
And it's 600 and some odd light years away. So we know that the signal has been traveling for at least that long. So yeah, and we don't know if the people,
that-
if the,
if
they're
if
even
the
still
race,
there.
if the species that sent it is even still alive. We
That's
don't know.
interesting.
So the people or the species on Kepler
Yes,
hmm
have this hive mind as well.
yes.
Yes.
It's. I think
So
it's
that
safe
means-
to
Yes.
assume that.
Yes.
It
Yes.
okay. So
and there could be a leader.
it sounds like there's a
okay?
leader, Joe.
Oh, right.
I
He's
don't-
really
I don't
fighting
think- I
for
don't know
the
if there's a leader. No
He's
leader has
fighting-
identified themselves.
Like
It's the same. I think if we go back into my favorite, I'm wearing the shirt, is the thing.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
the thing that it is still is functioning under the hive mind mechanism.
So you don't think like one thing is different than another thing?
No, I think they're all the same thing. And even
We don't know that though.
McCready
That
said
could
that.
be
He
a
said
very
if you all were the
interesting-
things, you would just attack me. But you guys are conspiring to hold back. And so that was part of the psychological effort in there that the thing didn't actually. And that's why I think the ending kind of reveals itself, because if one was the thing,
And the interesting
why
thing
wouldn't
about
it have
that.
attacked? I think they
is-
both are human or both things.
Okay, you had to get that in.
There you go.
Okay.
Anytime I can. Yes.
Yes.
I think the interesting thing was obviously that show was called The Thing.
Mhm.
And then we have the things.
That's right. From their perspective.
And that was their perspective. And obviously, there's not a single thing. There's
That's
many
right.
things.
True.
And it's like these crazy humans, and
yeah.
all their freaking, weirdness.
attacking us for no
Yeah.
reason. We're here just chilling. We just want to be friendly,
I do think the internet does feel like a hive mind.
is it a hive mind or an echo chamber at this
Yeah,
point?
I know. I just feel like sometimes, like you were talking about private thoughts, and I feel like I know it's when you say something out loud and your phone hears it and they send you ads and stuff.
Yeah.
But it feels like they even can hear me.
It doesn't
when I
work. I've
don't
asked for
say-
particular ads to show up, and they didn't show up because I wanted to rewatch a commercial. And I'm like,
What
Show me
commercial
more.
are you trying to find?
I don't know.
What?
I forget what
Why
that
are you
commercial
looking for
was.
a commercial?
Some commercials are fun.
They are, yeah. Where
Which
something
commercial?
happened. Remember we were watching, I forget what, the Traders, I think. And
Are you talking about the one where the animals like the car?
I don't know. Okay, that's a different thing.
All
Yeah.
right,
I
guys,
don't-
we're not
That's right.
sponsored by whoever this commercial is.
That's right. I don't want to. Yeah, if they
Well,
drop us some coins, then we'll.
It happens all the time where you
Yeah.
it feels
Yeah.
like you're just thinking something and all of a sudden that's on your phone.
Like-
But I really
okay.
appreciate, like Mary, you're not on social media.
No.
And I think that is so amazing. That's so great. And
Well-
at this day and age, to be like unconnected
She
to
would be
that.
the Carol of our group.
The Carol.
So in the
There's Carol.
in
Carol's the
Clover,
main
she was the one that.
Okay, see, I don't know.
Yeah.
Carol.
So you haven't seen it either. So yeah, we.
I'm
You
a
would-
blank slate.
All right, you two
You
need to
would
watch
like-
episodes by the mini because
Listen,
that's
I
a.
asked
Like,
for
you
a
would really
subscription.
Carol, I think. Don't you think Mary
Not
would
just-
like Carol?
Find it in our
She
budget.
kind
Come
of
on.
looks like Carol too.
Okay. I think so. The thing
Oh,
about
boy,
the
yeah.
well,
Those actually do.
I don't deserve that much
I know
praise.
Carol.
I'm miming
For those of
pulling
you-
my mask off of my face. I don't deserve that much praise because I'm on YouTube all the time. So that's basically social media.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
But if you
think
limit it, I mean, it is. It's gotten that
YouTube's a
way. They
different
want that
thing.
model where you go
And
and
then
you
it
feed into the
feeds you
memes,
an-
videos.
It feeds
like
you
the
an
shorts
algorithm.
feature and all that?
So
Or are you just watching the long form videos?
I stumbled upon, so I use Ecosia as my browser. I deleted the YouTube app and I watch YouTube through the Ecosia browser on
I've
my
never
phone.
even heard of the cozy.
And there's no ads when I
That's-
do that.
Wow.
I don't know why, but there are no ads when I
then that
use
definitely.
Some browsers do let you do
Yeah,
that.
but, yeah.
So
So
Ecosia
that-
will let you do that.
DuckDuckGo.
Opera,
Yeah.
DuckDuckGo.
Yeah.
These are all very
Yeah.
suitable.
These are the ones everybody should be
They're
using.
Tor
but it's
browsers,
not
so
what-
they don't track you. Also, I know DuckDuckGo, some of these other
Yeah.
ones
Opera
maybe
has VPN.
they have AI, generative AI kind of features defaulted off versus the other ones, Firefox, Google Chrome, that you have to go in and you can turn
this
it
is
off, but you have to do
interesting.
something.
I've been put off by YouTube because so much content is obviously just AI generated content. It's just
Well, you
like
get
And
that
ads.
right.
Yes.
no, not ads. I mean
Just
the
the
whole
content.
videos.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I've been avoiding YouTube.
I mean, it really depends on like you knowing your creators. Like,
That's right. Yeah.
This
That's
is a
it.
show that you can contact us and we will message you
Yeah.
back.
Right.
Not even like
Yes.
trying to plug us, but we are real
We
people.
are real
Correct.
people.
Like we will talk back
Even
to
though we
you.
don't have
We would
video
be
yet.
Very
excited
soon.
Our
if you
voice is real.
contacted us. Please contact us.
Yes, please reach out. Yell at us. Tell us what we got
It's just
wrong
one
or
of those
right.
things, like knowing the creators that you're watching the videos of. And yes, we don't have video right now, even though we've
Yeah.
promised that a few times.
We did, yeah.
But
We
It's
have
coming.
these
It's
little
coming.
cameras on
We
our
do, yeah.
desk.
I
You
forgot.
can see how much beer I drink during a podcast
We
session.
didn't,
Mary, I want to get back to the internet thing.
I
Yes.
thought we were talking
And I
about
want to
Carol.
get back to the, well, in a minute. I want to, okay, Mary/Carol.
Yes, you can. Right.
So the fact that this browser is one of the browsers, like Joe talked about, that it doesn't default to generative AI
Right.
content.
Yes.
Do you feel that? Do you feel like most of the things that you get on your feed and YouTube is real creators, or do you feel like there's a lot of AI?
I think that's yes.
It's a browser. It's a browser, not so it's like when you type into
But-
Google.
But do you,
You
say
get-
that
you
it
go-
defaults to the fact that it
So
does?
when you do Google now, you go and you go, tell me something about Hive Mind. Let's use that in our episode. You're doing some searches, trying to get some research done. You'll get an AI generated summary of content that pops up. And that then directs where you should go and what you should look at. It has things, there's ads sometimes embedded in there. The top hits with these kind of factors, SEO
Right,
factors
right.
that bump up a page. That's what you get first. And you usually have to move that out the way to get to the true search results, research papers,
okay,
kind
so
of
like
ideas.
the browser
So these
that
other
Mary's
browsers,
usually,
they don't pop that up. You get the true search. You get the pages
So it
that
doesn't
come up.
affect
That's right.
what-
So
It doesn't affect what you get on YouTube. So you go to
YouTube is its own
youtube.com
entity.
on
It's
the
not
browser,
Yes.
right.
and that's where you're watching. So
And I just noticed that. Well, I just noticed that I'm trying to wean myself off of some of the more egregious big tech that's out there.
Mhm.
So including email and Google. So instead of using Chrome, I've been using Ecosia.
Mhm.
And Ecosia, when I list and I deleted the YouTube app, I'm trying to, in my own small way, to starve the beast because I think they have a disproportionate level of influence over everything right now. And we can't stop it all, but I can do my part in that to sort of pull the legs out. So one of the practical effects is I've been able to finally listen to YouTube, like the things I like to listen to.
Mhm.
without it
And
giving
I,
you an how do you say that? Algorithm?
Algorithm.
well, the algorithm is still there, but I'm
Okay.
not getting the ads.
Right.
Okay.
And I just noticed that I was listening, I usually listen to YouTube. I put it in my pocket and just do chores and listen to long form podcasts like this, like the Rabbit Hole of Research.
Rabbit Hole of Research. You can find us.
Plug, plug.
Wow, we're
So I was
really
gonna-
plugging ourselves this
I was
episode.
going to
Yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was going to bring it back a little bit because one of the things when I did the research and down through my own rabbit holes was coming back to consciousness. Because I think you have to define it. And that led me to thinking about some of the science of in pluribus. How would you have an interlinked hive mind. How would you really do that? And that is through this idea of consciousness. The problem is, as I said, there is no real definition. There's 29 theories or so. Some reports have come out. Yeah, of consciousness. Mark Bittman
There's
had a
not
book.
like a single definition.
There is not.
Of
It is very. It's
Wow.
one of the most unsolved problems in science and philosophy.
Wow,
It
that's
kind
so
of interfaces
interesting.
well. The problem is like the simulation hypothesis with Wes coming back on for this. When I started doing my research, it was like, oh, this is a nice end cap because it's hard to study something if you're in it. So our only
Right.
tool to study consciousness is our consciousness.
Right.
So you really can't get outside of that to actually study it. So if we're in a simulation, we really can't study if we're in a simulation because you're in it. So that's always a problem. If you're in the thing you're trying to study, how do you study it? So usually you got to send something outside of you, and then do it. But
Right.
we don't
Which
have that.
why,
So-
like science, a lot of times these big breakthroughs come from people that might have been trained in other areas.
Exactly. Looking at it
different
differently. Right.
sciences.
Different tools, they're applying tools, but the tool we have, really our consciousness
So
is
we
what
need
makes
like
us.
we need like
you
this
know.
alien group to come and study us.
But,
And then,
that's
but
what-
would we
That's
It's a
trust?
whole other
Already.
episode.
that's right. Yeah. That's
Would we trust their?
That's right. Their judgment. Are they
result?
telling us what's right? Are we looking at those results? So it's like
Also,
trying to
would
study.
they care?
Would they care? That's a
and
good
that's the other.
point.
It's like trying to study the water in the ocean if you live in the ocean and water is around you what tools do you use to actually
But,
figure
like,
that out? So
we study the
that's-
air, and we live in the air.
we have a lot of tools, but air is made up of other elements that we have tools to actually monitor and measure what
Yes.
those elements are. So we truly do have other
So
tools
what
to
are
measure
some
these other
ways-
physical properties. So
What are some ways that scientists are trying to study consciousness? Can you tell us that?
yeah, I think some of it, and what I found was you go and you start. Wes, you look like you're about to jump in.
No,
or you got
go ahead. I'm wrapped in your attention.
It's like you look like I look up and you're like you're ready to jump in there. But I think a lot of it is this idea of consciousness, that we're having these internal thoughts. Then do we have techniques that we can record our internal thoughts or record what we're thinking or
And
how we're
would that be
processing
like how
information?
certain things in your brain light
That's
up
it, yeah,
when
so
you think
exactly.
of certain things?
And so functional MRI, so this is magnetic resonance imaging, but functional part of it is that they can actually follow blood flow, see different parts of your brain light up, use this as a tool to go, okay, you're having some conscious thought, you are having some kind of a higher thought there.
Is that a
so
lie detector?
it would not be a lie detector per
Isn't
se.
that trying to figure out if your thoughts are true?
Well, we did an episode on the truth and lie detection. Yeah.
The
That's
physiological
measuring-
response of
right.
your body.
That's right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not measuring consciousness per se. It's measuring
Mhm.
kind of an outward projection of how you're
Right.
feeling, heart
Right.
rate, breathing rate, respiratory rate. So that's where you get there. So,
Your fear
Um,
of not being believed.
right. So,
It's like
You
your
know,
blood.
there's a
yeah.
whole subculture of people that think that consciousness is non-local, that it's not
That's right.
located
That's right.
in
Yeah.
your brain.
Mm.
It doesn't
gonna
depend
say.
on your brain to
Mhm.
be generating it.
and that's
And
noetics.
What group?
Yeah, he said it.
Um,
Noetics.
Noetics is the idea that there's non-localized consciousness, that your brain activity alone can explain our conscious behavior. And so noetics is this kind of idea that all the consciousness, so think of it like a cloud for your iTunes or Spotify. So all the music lives somewhere and then you recall it and you have recall of that and you can bring it down and you have access to it. And so noetics is like your consciousness, everything you know and learn are floating somewhere in the ether, and then you can pull it down.
That's hard to.
And so
That's hard to-
two areas where people have backed this. One is near-death experiences and people experiencing things that they see. And there's a lot of, there's some interesting studies where like
right.
people they describe things, and then some doctors, they'll put like signs or papers. They started putting it on top of a tall shelf. So you go, I'm floating off. Then they go, what was on that paper that was up there? And then they go, what paper? So there's some
Because it's
interesting
like
things.
they're looking down onto their body.
But the other
They could-
interesting one I found was this what's called acquired savant syndrome. And so these are cases where someone had a traumatic brain injury,
Yep.
recovered, and then had a phenomenal ability. So they
Yes.
could speak perfectly another language. They became a maestro of piano playing or an instrument. And so there was they couldn't play before,
So
couldn't
the
speak the language.
explanation is somehow they tapped into
That's right.
this.
Like
Correct.
a radio station, they tuned in, their brain
wish that
had an
would happen to
opportunity
me.
to tune into it.
Yep.
And so their brain tuned into the frequency that was just right to get that information. And then when they woke up, they all of a sudden could do this amazing thing. Yeah. So I had a few, Derek Amato, he hit his head in the swimming pool accident and he woke up. He could play piano at a concert level, never having any lessons. He sees the music as black and white squares flowing through his head. Orlando Searle got hit with a baseball at 10. Afterwards, he could remember every day's weather, day of the week, personal events, moving forward with perfect accuracy. So, yeah, Jason Paget, there's, a couple examples. Got hit in the head, woke up seeing in fractals and became a mathematician savant. So he had been a furniture salesman before, no mathematical background. So woke up and he just could do this amazing thing. So this idea of noetics, that's it. And the other thing is that our brains have suppressors. We take in a phenomenal amount of information and we really can't process all that information and function. And so your brains are actually actively depressing.
It weeds out this stuff.
What's happening. So maybe the signal is coming in, but your brain is just filtering the signal out because there's so much noise.
I wish my brain would realize I would love to do concert piano. I'd be a concert
So that's
pianist.
what I think in Blueberries, maybe that's what's happening. Maybe the
Correct.
genetic signal that got sent, this kind of genetic thing, was a tuner that allowed it to tune and focus. And so now you're only focusing on one particular thing out of the cloud and everyone's focused on that. And then if that message changes, then everyone focuses on that. So we got to go and repair some infrastructure. We all then tune in. Everyone has the skills to do it. We know our jobs. There is no hierarchy. So you just show up and you were performing heart surgery 1 minute. Next minute, you're digging a ditch and fixing the sewer line. And this goes to the ARC episode where we talked about that, where at point at Nick, 'cause we had that conversation. And I think you had brought something up like this. If you're the surgeon, then go build the barn.
Finish the surgery first. Don't go start
but you
digging
don't
that
want the
ditch.
surgeon to hurt their hands. So.
Well, that's the thing. In this universe,
It doesn't matter.
That's
Right.
what he's a surgeon.
That's
Right,
Anybody's a
but
ditch
that's what
digger.
yeah. But that's usually not
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah.
Well, when you were talking about consciousness, how hard it is to study yourself while you're immersed in this thing. I'm thinking about this through the lens of yoga, which I'm interested in it. And
Wait, is this because you went to yoga today?
no, I was
She
like,
actually teaches the yoga.
Yeah.
so yeah,
She's a yogi? That's
yeah,
that term?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a yoga teacher.
Okay.
And in yoga philosophy, the human body is thought of as layers. There's your physical layer of your body, and then there's the sensations that body has, your level of attention, and your thoughts and feelings, and then finally your consciousness. And yoga is very interested in teasing out what is permanent and what is temporary, what is your fleeting thoughts and feelings versus your consciousness. And you do that through meditation, through practicing the postures, when you see people through movement and through breath
Like
exercises.
the wiggle dance.
What's that?
Like the wiggle dance.
Absolutely. Through the
So
wiggle
back to the wiggle dance.
through the wiggle dance. But through that you sort of tease out there's ways to separate that. Maybe not as a
Is that like the chakras? Or is that a different
that's more of a different thing, but it's more there's like yoga philosophy thinks of the body, thinks of us as layers. And like the most inner layer is the consciousness. And then you tease out what is your thoughts versus what is real versus what are your thoughts, which are transitory.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
No.
But I mean,
So your thoughts aren't real in this?
right.
So what are your thoughts? Like just
Your thoughts are
just like fleeing.
your thoughts are temporary. And what you do because we can get overwhelmed in thought, get lost in thought, and confuse our thoughts with reality. And one of the things that we can do to step back from that is to use our breath and to consciously just remember to take a breath. What does it feel like to take a breath? Cooler inhale,
Right.
probably a warmer exhale. And something like that, it's almost like a timeout for your body.
Yep. Reminds me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
And
your thought.
then with yoga, we get control over our thoughts so that our thoughts don't control us.
Yeah. That reminds me of the book Lose Your Mind. and I'm
Oh.
slipping on the author right now, but he's his dad worked on the Manhattan Project, and he became like an author, actor, and he's now an actor coach. And the whole idea is that when you're going for an audition, you're going on stage, you're doing improv, you're doing all sorts of things,
Anything
your
really.
body can take
Yeah.
over and sabotage you. And so he's teaching people how to take your thoughts and how to use your breathing,
Is this
how
because you
to
watched
focus
Wonder Man
on different.
recently?
This was not,
What?
but it was. We
It's
thought
really-
about
it's
Lose
a-
Your
Watch
Mind
Wonder
because of
Man.
that. That's
where
right.
you're getting this
But
from.
it was.
It's a
It's
really
an actual
good
book. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a really good book.
And,
Oh,
he,
thank
he
you.
had that whole
Yeah.
premise, and that was the whole thing about breathing, about channeling your thoughts,
Like
and then
taking
letting
yourself
go.
and looking at something in a different way, so you realize, oh, that's my. You know what I mean? Like
Shift
just
your
a-
thought, shift your focus from your
Exactly.
thoughts back to.
And he has
your
a
breath.
lot of. He has a lot of exercises to do this and stuff.
Mhm.
Like it's
Cool.
really good. Yeah.
Oh, awesome! I thanks, Sarah. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. By I just looked it up. Josh Pice.
I was gonna
Lose
say
Your Mind: The Path to Creative Invincibility is the.
this
we'll
would
put that
not
in
have
the show
been. This
notes.
would not have been helpful at all. But I'm like, his name starts with a J. But that would
Yes,
not.
that would- no.
Man, you
Every
really
little
got to
bit
tap
helps.
into that.
It's a
We'll
J.
tap into
there
the
you
hive
go.
mind.
Yeah, the hive mind.
Yeah.
Let me pull from the universe, the conscious cloud. But the interesting thing about because we talked about it, and we do this because we're human, so we always have a human-centric point of view. But there are other organisms, and one are plants. And one could question, are plants conscious or not? Because like bees, ants, they all have a nervous system. They have a brain, so you can make the jump. Okay, yeah, they are doing things in accord. They do have a consciousness. But plants don't have a nervous system as we understand a nervous system. And so are they conscious? Or do they have conscious thought? Are they just kind of awareness of their environment? And there's a lot of evidence that they
It
do.
does, and it does seem like they're
And they are.
collective because you have
Yeah.
all that root system going down. And I think
Yeah,
I'm especially thinking of mushrooms and fungi.
So
Right.
mushrooms are
Yeah,
different. They're
they
not
all-
plants.
yeah, but they
yes,
have that.
They do.
They
Yeah.
have
Mhm.
that interlocking system of roots, and it seems like they all become one.
Mm-hmm.
And
They
that's
can, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
very much like the
They're,
pluribus.
but then they have.
Becoming one, or is it just one?
It's just
Like,
one. Usually it's
it's not
just
like-
one. That's right. And that's
'Cause
so.
what if you replant a different part of it elsewhere? It's not like it's still connected. It's a separate entity now.
Those are two. So there's two concepts there. One is cloning. So and that's asexual cloning. So if you take a piece of the plant or the fungal and try to regrow it, then it's a genetic copy of the original. And you've made a clone, and they could be separate, and they're not there. I think what George is referring to is the interconnectivity of the actual organisms themselves to form one kind of thinking organism or being. And so in Utah, you have the grove of quaking aspen, and it's considered one single organism. But it's like 40-some thousand tree trunks share a single root system.
Wow.
And so it's 80, 90,000 years old, something like that. The oldest
wow.
living thing on Earth. And it's just, there's no brain, no nervous system, but it's a unified kind of
Wow.
organism. And sadly, it's currently dying because of
Oh,
human activity.
Of course.
So
Sure.
that's that there.
Let's get another
And that-
AI data mine.
And
then
that's, I feel like that's really the motivation of the pluribus beings, or however you would say being, is to save the world. Like they really like want to save resources, and they want to be more
They won't kill. They
environmentally
won't kill.
conscious.
They won't even pick an apple, even though that picking an apple won't kill the tree. They
That
won't-
part doesn't understand that because there are fruits like that. So you're not killing it, but there are
You're
living
actually
cells
helping
in that
that.
apple. So
Correct.
even if it falls to the ground and you eat it, you still are
Well, they're
ingesting.
okay.
Right.
They're okay with picking up windfall.
I know, but it's still as living as it was on the tree. So I think that's a little, because the cells in the apple are still doing stuff. I mean, when you have an apple in your fridge, you pull it out, those cells are still biologically active. You're not eating a dead thing.
Can they eat
you're eating
bread?
something.
Because bread is yeast, and yeast is living, and
The yeast is dead in the bread.
but you had to
technically.
use the yeast to
You
make.
did
the-
have to, yes. that's
so
right.
that means you're
That's right.
killing it to eat
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
They will eat.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're not going to go too much into what they eat. Okay.
Wait, I have a whole discussion now.
Yeah, I
Well,
think so. Yeah, you're
we're
right.
not-
The-
we're
in
not-
the show.
We don't want to do spoiler.
this really
This
is a
is not
spoiler.
much of
yeah,
a spoiler.
yeah.
They will eat any processed food that already existed prior to their,
Creation. Yeah.
so they're okay with that.
Are you able to opt out of being part of their cult?
No.
No.
Well, you
If you
gotta watch the
do
show.
opt
You gotta
out,
watch the show.
are you then killed, or
No.
is it like
No,
You
they don't
gotta-
kill.
You
That's the
gotta
thing.
watch the show.
So there's
because
12 people,
basically-
13 people who originally were not susceptible to the
They didn't
genetic
get-
coding. So they could not be. So Carol, the main protagonist, she did not become
And
part
so
of the Hive
she is the main
And so
character.
she's trying
and she,
to figure
the
out
whole
ways
struggle is
to reverse it.
how
Yeah.
much does she want to fight against this, and how much,
Yeah.
because her, yeah.
so no matter what she does, they won't retaliate, or no?
Well,
No,
it's
they won't
there's
retaliate.
Yeah.
some fine,
Interesting.
There's
Yeah.
fine lines.
She pushes the envelope.
There's
Trust
some
me.
fine
Yeah.
lines and some
Yeah.
interesting. I don't
I
want to
think
say.
I think
I'm
no,
all
Carol
down for some good anarchy.
Carol would
I'm
be
saying
Nick and
that's what I'm
Carol would have a
saying.
lot in common, I think. So it's like
Yeah, you would love Carol.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
And there's some loopholes that
Yeah.
she's trying
she's
to
trying
kind
to
of.
exploit.
But
yeah.
then but the hive
Yeah.
mind is trying to exploit some kind of loopholes too.
And this question, okay, I don't want to
Don't
spoil it.
let-
But
yeah, no.
But I was going to say, back to the fungal point, that's the mycorrhizal networks that they have underneath. And so I think there's a number, I think Oregon, there's one of the largest interconnected
Right.
fungal
I think
masses
that's what makes
that you have. So
The Last of Us so scary because that's
right.
fungal based.
That's right.
And
yeah. And they were
fungus-
controlling
that-
like a hive mind
and
there at
that
some
is
level.
like
Mhm.
as far as like
Yeah.
organisms of the earth, they have
Yeah.
the greatest, right?
Fungal
Right.
organisms?
Yeah.
Greatest what? Sorry.
That is the greatest number of beings on earth is fungal.
Oh, I don't know.
I think
don't know.
I've
There's
read
a lot of
bacterial-
insects. There's a
a
lot,
lot of insects, but
I don't
bacterial,
know. I
yeah.
think
yeah.
I think
Microbial would be, well, 'cause microbial just has, I think they have the numbers there. Because
Okay.
even in, like us,
Are
we
you
have
talking
billions of
about an
microbial.
extremophile?
We have, no, this normal files.
You just had to get that one in, didn't
But
you?
even, I mean, so it's funny because
We're
even
a
like in,
normophile.
because even in like insects, they have microbes that live on them and interact with them, fungal. So every species has their own
I
group
really
of kind
did
of
think
microbes,
that
their
was
own
the
biome.
highest percentage, but
No, I think-
could totally
I think
be
bacteria
wrong. I
would.
don't know.
Per species, I think you're just going to
Maybe
group
could
them
you
up.
say the more complex they're the most?
I don't know. I mean, all right, I don't want to offend the fungal.
I
group,
do.
so-
Let's go burn them all
Let's
down.
do it.
No,
Yeah.
fungal is our friend.
There's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot
Absolutely.
of organisms on Earth that have a lot of numbers, and they're just smaller, so they can
All
reproduce.
right.
Are we talking about? Do you take each cell of the being and say that's a
and they're so
human
easy
cell?
to grow. Like
so how
if
many
you
human
just get
cells
a
per
dark,
volume?
you get a
Um,
dark like a box, and you just a
You
little.
do. They need to eat though.
Yeah,
Everything needs to eat.
That's
So
true.
fungi
I
will.
feel like they were pretty easy to grow.
They are.
And
They're
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 tasty.
relatively easy to grow. Yes. I'm not
Anyway.
gonna say that, and people will be writing us. These are the hardest things I've ever grown in my life. So
Okay,
Um,
I had an idea, but oh my gosh,
go for it.
I think I might have forgot. Sorry.
Some other interesting things I had that I thought was cool and still lack nervous systems is the slime mold and their problem solving, how they can come together. They will go. And so the most famous thing was that they took a map of Tokyo and they put food sources in all the major stops.
Okay.
And then they put slime mold on. And then the slime mold found the most efficient route to all of the food sources that they put on all the stops.
Well, I'll be darned.
And that mirrored the actual subway, the station, their transportation system. So they're looking, so they use that as can we figure out they were trying to figure out a more efficient way because the slime mold's going to,
What is a slime
Go to
mold? What is this? I'm sorry. Did you explain that?
I didn't,
blanked
yeah.
out.
So I
No,
probably
he
should.
didn't.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
wait, I have slime in my car. Can I go get that and it'll eat
What?
things?
Yes, it's a single-celled
What? You don't have slime in
organism.
your
hang
Oh,
on,
you
hang on.
mean-
So
Go ahead. No, they
Joe
can.
is explaining.
Slime mold is a single-celled organism. Amoebas are slime molds. They were originally classified as fungi because they make spores, but they're not. So
And-
that's hence the mold part
And
of
they're
it.
not extremophiles.
They're not extremophiles.
Mm.
Their family would be Protists, the kingdom of Protista. So there's different kingdoms instead of fungi, animal or plant. And so that's what,
What do they
do.
look like? Can we like post a picture?
Yeah,
in
I
the
can
show
post a
notes?
picture. They're these little, they're like the amoebas. These little slimy things. I'm showing
Oh.
everyone in here.
Oh,
with
they're
slime mold.
colorful.
They are colorful, and they're individuals, but then they'll come together as a multicellular organism at different parts of their life cycle, especially when food is scarce or replicating. They're predators, so they actually will engulf other organisms to eat them. They'll form a slimy kind of mass. They'll find food, and they'll act like large amoebas. They'll come together, but they're just individual cells, and they'll group together, communicate, and then do their work and live their best lives. So
we
it's
can
really
make an argument that these are hive mindish.
that's exactly right. That was my
Exactly.
point. But I guess I got to explain what a slime mold is to you.
Sorry, I didn't know
Well,
what
I've
it
never
was.
heard of a slime mold.
Yeah, but they have no kind of central command.
That is so
They only have one
cool.
mission.
Right.
That's to live. That's to survive. That's to eat. That's
Yeah.
to replicate. And they just move. They just move forward. So it was really
In perfect
interesting.
harmony, yes.
In perfect harmony. And they mirror. So humans figured out this is the most efficient railway system. And then you actually ask them, "Oh, go find it." They're not going to. They can't. They don't have. They're not going to dilly dally. They want to make the straightest, easiest line to these kind of different
Yeah,
points.
It's almost
and,
like
so,
we asked an AI to figure it
Asked
out
AI,
for
yeah,
us.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and a hive mind is, Georgia mentioned it's like communism. It's also like an AI intelligence.
It is. And AI, I want to be careful because we always say intelligence, and it's a predictive model based on math
it's
and
like
probability.
What you put in is what
Right.
you
And
get
so, right.
out.
So you put in
Predict it,
things,
yeah.
and then it's going to go, what's the highest, if it's making a sentence, it goes, what's the predicted word that should come next, right? So if you go, the ball bounced down the stairs, as it's writing that sentence, it goes, the ball. Then it has to choose, what did that ball do? It's not going to put bumblebee in because that doesn't make sense. So it's predicting, you rule things out, and then you construct a sentence that way. And that sentence is just based on the information that was put in. So the material that was put in, the point at which humanity had contributed to that information, that's it. But it has no sensory. It can't create. It can't look
I
at its
say
environment.
slime mold
and think
over
about it.
AI. That's what
slime
I'm
mold.
I vote slime
At
mold.
least
Me
it's
too.
organic, right?
Different episode, I think. But yeah, that's you
Slime
can
mold versus AI.
go there. Yeah, let's set it up.
That'll be our next
Who will
episode.
win?
So I did think of my point. I think the biggest thing is the question of individuality, and if we want to lose our individuality and our consciousness. And this makes me think of Invasion of the Body Snatcher. And I think that's very similar to Pluribus. That idea of, and actually they could be fungi because they're plants. Well, I know fungi's not plants. That
I'm
connect.
saying it.
I know, but that connective thing, and then they make the pods and stuff.
Right. I was going to say Avatar also follows the world of Avatar.
The Last Airbender?
No, the Avatar, James
Oh,
Cameron
James
Avatar.
Cameron.
With the planet, it's all interconnected, and they can take their little hair loops and connect into the organism. But it's a tree, and it's the whole planet is
Guess
connected.
that gets into
That's
the whole
like
thing,
a
like
hive
connecting
mind
in with
planet,
nature.
right?
I thought you were going with the colonization view
Right.
of that. I was like, wait, where are we going with
No.
this?
But I think that's the horror of all this in a psychology and fiction is losing your autonomy.
But that's
Right.
colonization, like to a T. What this is you're
yeah.
taking over
Well,
someone's
right, right.
personality.
Right.
You're taking over their views. You're
You
taking
think-
over their.
Yeah.
You think you
Like-
know better, and
Yeah.
you think that you should take over. Oh,
Well,
this
yeah,
culture
the Catholic
that
Church
doesn't know
coming
what
to
they're
America,
thinking.
calling them savages.
Right,
Yeah.
which
It's-
when they're actually have a lot better take on how to.
And is that where this pluribus is coming from? Are they thinking that the way
that's
we
a
were
good
now,
point to think of it as
that we are savages
colonization.
and that we need to be changed?
But that-
if not,
I'm
we're
a-
going to
But
go to
also
Let me
we-
the
step in here and say something is that in those models there that you're bringing up, Nick, where we went somewhere, other humans went to another place
I was
with
going to
other
say
humans.
we.
And they did. That's right. No,
Joe, I think you and I had
we might have been along for the ride, but not in the way we weren't making decisions.
Yikes, Joe! Got to dodge that bullet.
Yeah, which side
Yeah,
of
but
the
I was-
colonization were you
Now I'm like thinking
on?
about what I was saying here, but I was going to say that those decisions and those narratives were set up to justify doing something that people would find morally objectionable.
Right.
Right.
And
So that was
taking
kind of the
over
say these people
land,
are
taking
savages,
over
gave them
what the-
reason to kill them.
Right.
Right, that
And
was
to
always
take
the
over their
thing.
land and take over the
Right,
resources
Right.
and basically make money.
So not necessarily hive. I think that goes into this economic friction.
But it's
But-
the idea
and you don't
behind
have
it.
that
But
in
you're
is
saying-
getting the people
You're saying
behind you.
the motivation of
Yes.
the pluribus entity and
Is gonna
coming
be
to
with
America
a
and
problem.
taking over. So you're back to there is some alternate
Yes.
motive.
Right.
Yes, I am. That is
Yeah.
a very
I-
hard stance for me
And-
not to get off of.
Yes, you're right. In the pluribus model, we find out, I'm going to try to do this without spoilers, that the hive mind is, they say they cannot lie, but they didn't say they cannot manipulate. So we think that maybe the hive mind is manipulative even though it can't lie or kill. So
Yeah.
what you're suggesting is not out of the question.
Thank you. That's all I need to hear.
But you gotta have some motive, right? So that motive has to be there, because you go through all this and you want to have some. Even cult leaders had a motive to do what they did. That could be power, that could be for free love
They
or
could
whatever.
just be mentally
It was,
ill,
yeah.
and
They
thought,
wanted something out of that. So that's the thing about the hive mind and this consciousness. When you tap into it, and when people join it, and then can they unjoin? Because you do. That's this idea of
and I think that
individuality
can be,
is,
like Nick said, very difficult to unjoin a cult.
and we're bred. I mean, we are autonomous at some level. Like, we do come together, we do work together. I think, what is it, 150, you can have close relations. Everything after that is in the periphery. So we do work. We are social organisms and animals.
Right.
But we also have our own thoughts, and we are
But
autonomous.
I do think that you could be in maybe a cultish religion. You could be really in it deep. You've been born into this, and this is all that affects how you think.
And
your
then trying to get out of
consciousness.
that
I mean,
religion,
Right.
you have people that will just disown you.
right?
Like, it's
your
that
whole
same
your
problem.
whole
So
your whole being relates to this.
Your sense of
And
belonging, right?
everybody-
Right.
Yeah.
That's your selfhood is that question. And is your selfhood, do you ignore your selfhood or do you join grouphood? I guess if we're
Well,
going to.
I would argue that a cult is not a hive mind. It's a hierarchy.
Well, that's what we've talked
Exactly.
about. Right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
touched on
but
that.
Exactly.
it emulates a hive mind. They have
It
They-
tries
the
to be.
person
They
at the
want-
hierarchy.
They want there
Yeah.
to be a hive mind, and they're controlling it.
Yes.
So I think that's why it's
That's what
separated
I-
hive. I said that I think hive minds, there is no controller. So I think you just
Right.
have a collective group. So a eusocial kind of group. And in a true hive mind, there is no
I don't think there
single
can ever be
agenda.
a true hive
But I
mind.
think going
Like,
back to
why
Nick's
not?
point and going back to Wes's
Because someone
point,
has to have that
No, you
main
don't
he's
have to.
saying, he's saying there has to be some sort of end game.
It's like the
There has
slime
to
mold.
be
A motherboard.
There
The slime
has to be a
mold- the slime mold
motivation.
for your
status quo,
computer.
and they
You
just
have to
wanna
have the
live and-
motherboard to run everything through it. To
I
run
love
any
slime
process,
mold.
it has to go through
But I
it.
think you're
I love
thinking
slime
about this from a
molds, too.
very humanistic point of view, human-centric point of view.
Dude, we are
I think
humans
that's why
as far as I know.
That's the problem with studying any of this. Our consciousness is that we are it filters through. Our tools are limited, and so really, it's about what would it look like outside of that? What would it be if we didn't have selfhood as our driving factor? Our driving impetus is
But I do
selfhood
think
at some
it's
level.
cultural. I think there's certain
could be it
cultures
too,
that
yeah.
are very much more into the collective than the individuality. I do think that.
But still, at some level, I
vis-
think money, I think status, I think you start off with these very high morals, and then what happens is these things aren't factored in, and they corrupt the system. It's one of the reasons I think communism, as it's set up, it failed because certain people then will take advantage of the system.
and there's
it's why
always the
capitalism
the
is
wealthy.
capitalism is a
part.
little
Yeah.
better because it factors in that everyone
I
can
don't know.
make it.
I think
Oh, I
it
thought
has,
it was initially corrupt.
Unless it
it has a
runs
lot.
unless
it
you
has
run
a lot
away,
of
right?
problems
Like,
too.
Unless capitalism runs away and then a few people take everything and then they keep telling people that they have a chance to get things, right? So
I think
all
we're
these
there
systems are
already.
right. We are there, and all these systems
yeah, and the,
like,
and the
we're
oligarchy.
going up against
I feel with capitalism,
human
you get
nature.
the corruption already ingrained into
that's
it to
the-
begin with.
That's kind of
So
the beauty
you
of it,
It's
right?
like
walk
you're-
into it with the
That's
idea,
the-
Well,
all
you-
right, this is corrupt from
Yeah,
the start,
You
but at least we know the
accept that.
corruption.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Yeah,
It's not-
exactly. But once a few people,
Which is where the
pull
hive
away,
mind comes from. The
you really
corruption is
don't,
ingrained in it.
But no, that's not a hive mind.
Not
I mean, a hive mind,
necessarily.
right? Let's say that now you collected in with someone else, so you shared their thoughts. Really, you're the same body. You're an autonomous body, so you go and you're just doing. You have the same mission, the same ideas, the same knowledge. There is no. You can't get ahead. You can't fall behind because anytime I learn something new, you've learned it. So I really don't have a
I
competitive
think it's
edge. I
just
don't
really
have this
hard
edge, and that's
to
the
wrap our
really.
mind around.
That's the
that.
thing you have. I think if it's
Thinking of something having just been all so good and nothing wrong. I'm so sorry, West. I feel like we've just got you up for a minute. But having that idea that this pluribus is so above all that it does no bad, that its only thing in life
I'm not-
is to
I
do
can add
good.
something to this. One of the joined members gives an analogy to one of the unjoined people, Carol. She says, if you saw somebody drowning, would you ask for consensus? No, you would just save them. So they see the unjoined humans as drowning. Okay, so that's
Right.
the analogy they give.
They don't have. I mean, as in the show, as it's.
By the way, I do
now,
that. When you said Carol, you gestured at Mary.
we need our video here.
Well, yeah.
That was a great.
But that's the hive mind as a setup. You're really just one. So we all would be on this podcast with equal knowledge, and then just taking turns talking about
This
that
conversation
knowledge,
would
right?
go nowhere.
It would probably be a very boring, because
And
everyone
then-
else would know, right? I mean, that's so. Let's say you had micro hive mind, so you had your close associate group, and you 20 people would all have the same knowledge, the same
I
abilities.
think that's what a
just spread
co-op
it
is
out.
supposed to be.
That's exactly it. Except you go one step level where every thought, every decision
Right. Well,
is innate. It's just, should we play Scrabble tonight? There's no question. It's not even asked. Just, yes, we're setting up the Scrabble board. We're playing. That's the level. I think in the social kind of model where there is a queen or king leader, then they dictate. Then you go to them and they go, yes, we're playing Scrabble tonight. And then everyone plays Scrabble. So the Scrabble, the cult of Scrabble.
But then if
I'm
someone
kind of
initiated
100%
that
of the cult of
idea
Scrabble.
and everyone else agreed right away because it's already that idea, is that one person that's initiating
There is no
that
person.
idea?
The idea is just, there is not an
That you
initiation.
think that's it's the
That's
unknown.
that's the idea. There is no thought. There is no thinking. You just do.
I love seeing you get chirped up on this.
Yeah,
this
this
is
one
so
is
great.
this one
It's
is
a
like
very-
one of
yeah.
those
Messing
ones
with
where
you.
it's
Love it.
You
I
got
mean,
to suspend your brain for a second.
I
and
think
just get,
Nick is like Carol.
I've had a
you're
lot
like
of
the Carol-
conversations
Carol
with people, and this is
character.
where people get hung up on this
Yeah.
show, is they cannot wrap their brain around.
who would want to be in
Yeah.
part of this?
Well, think about it. They give you something to do. They give you a place to sleep. They give you 3 squares a day.
I don't know.
they
You
don't give you
gotta watch
squares.
it.
They're just, it's just more.
Is
you know,
jail?
I think
No,
Wes, you're
watch
still
this
filtering
show.
it
And you're not
through.
in jail. You're out in the world doing stuff.
I think Wes, you're still filtering it through human experience. Really, they just go to gymnasiums. They lay down
Yeah.
when they're tired.
Cuddle puddle.
And then they go, right, yeah, they come together. And then when tasks are required in their area,
Yeah.
they just go, I'm going to go
This
do this
is
task.
not-
I'm
Can
just
I
going to go.
jump
Right.
in
And
for a
they eat.
second?
They don't eat. Eating isn't times. It's when you're metabolically needed to
Okay.
eat. So you have this whole process. So really, you disassociate all of our human social constructs into just existing.
And I
This
think it's
sounds
funny
true.
Be
because I
happy.
think I'm sorry, Mary.
No, that's okay. Go
But
for it.
I think it's funny because I think this show really brings out, like, some people would be like, oh yeah, I want to be in the hive mind, and other
Yeah.
people, oh no, that's horrible. I do think it just really gets at this like very unique thing that some people like and some people don't like.
Right, exactly. And there is a benefit to thinking collectively or working collectively.
There
One
is.
of the lies of
mhm.
capitalism is that you can do everything all by yourself. And that's just not true. I mean, going back to yoga, there's a concept in yoga that's called no self. And it's hard to explain exactly, but the way I see it, and forgive me, I may be wrong, but this being called Mary Shones is the product of everything that came before us, back to the last universal common ancestor, Luca. So what I think of as mine own, it's actually just a collective of my ancestors.
Right.
And then as a collective, well, it is beneficial for us to do things collectively, to pull our resources and to be more social. One of the things that dictators or authoritarians like to do is to ban groups of people. And some of the more
That you
extreme
would-
ones,
Strength in numbers.
right, there's strength in numbers. Their authoritarians love to ban large gatherings or even any gatherings. There's some forgive me the name, but some of them, like more than 2 people together is outlawed.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you get people together, it's not so much in my head that the hive mind, we think of it as like just a thought that originates or throughout the consciousness, but there are some ideas in life that take hold. And we think of them as sort of spontaneously generating. But what happened is somebody generated it. Either they didn't think it, they either wrote it down or they spoke it to somebody else, and for whatever reason, it just catches on like wildfire. But in a human model, somebody has to express it. They can't just think it.
Right.
Right. We don't all have that.
Right. But I would like to, before we leave today, I would like to ask people what would they like to see
Before we, I'm gonna
go viral, so to speak.
Before we do that.
Sure.
And final thoughts, because I think there's probably people have a couple of questions to ask the group, because we don't share a hive mind. But I want to go through the literature. I like to do this, the example of the hive mind, because I think in fiction and narrative fiction, you do set up this kind of individual versus loss of autonomy. And so I have my little list of
and then
historical.
There's a whole other rabbit hole that we can't go into because it's too late, but mind reading and mind control.
Oh, yeah, like the episode we did.
Reading social cues.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
So I had, and if someone has something earlier, please chime in. I had the first Men in the Moon, H.G. Wells, literature in 1901. I think that was the date I had
I
there.
knew about one that was in 1900. So.
And it had the,
I'm just kidding.
it had insect-like aliens with kind of a biological caste system. They weren't exactly emerged at consciousness. It was more like a eusocial kind of environment. And it was really the first kind of where fiction, biology came together to see what the society would be like. We move forward, right? The Last and First Men, Olaf Stapledon, 1930, first known use of the term group mind in science fiction. And it goes through billions of years of human evolution. And they develop some sort of telepathy kind of thing where they're going through, and the group mind is the evolutionary endpoint of humans that we get there, and then we're all running there. 1950, James H. Schmidt's Second Night of Summer, first use of hive mind as a science fiction concept.
What year is that?
And so,
Excuse me.
1950. It was originally in the Galaxy of Science Fiction magazine. Mm-hmm. And so that was the people's official birth year that I found of that, where you go in there. You go forward, you have a lot of these are more insect based. The Midwich Cuckoos by John Wyndham, who also did the Night of the Triffids, my favorites of 1957, this book. Alien children born in a small English village share a collective mind and use it to protect themselves from the humans around them. That might sound familiar because that was the premise for Village of the Dam. So that was the same story there. So we jumped to film and TV, Invasion of Body Snatchers, classic, Pod People, Emotionless, collective kind of mind. They go through almost like Pluribus. They just have their jobs. They do what they do and they go forward. You have a few humans left that they want to assimilate. The Thing, we mentioned that, right. 82. Yeah, go for it.
Is Severance the same model or no?
It's
another show I have not watched.
No. Severance is not.
It's a totally different thing, but I am very eager to talk about that one too.
Wes keeps pinging me about a Severance episode. We're waiting for the next season to drop, and then we will probably jump into that.
I'll actually watch that one, I swear.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch this one too eventually, but
yeah.
We just need to get that.
Where's our Apple sponsorship?
That collective mind subscription.
Well, I think that The Thing is an excellent example of the hive mind. Absolutely,
right.
because every single part of it is its own distinct feature, but they all come together.
And I think, like Georgia pointed out, The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, is told from the perspective of the humans trying to suss out who is become a thing, who's actually losing their autonomy, becoming part of the collective. Peter Wells did The Things, where it was from the Things point of view. So a really different take on how that would look and feel for that story. So
interesting.
Yeah. Then The Stuff, one of my favorite B sci-fi movies, 1985. It's about a parasitic organism that people eat, and then they become a collective
like
hive.
Marshmallow goo.
Marshmallow goo, very similar to Pluribus, because people they eat or ingest the genetic signal. The Star Trek Borg, that's in there. The X-Files, the black oil. Remember, that's there. It's an alien intelligence
that
I forgot
kind of that episode.
Infects humans and works towards colonizing them. The Matrix is part of humans are farmed and they're tethered into a collective mind. So you have collective kind of hive thinking and a simulation. So that merges into that same.
With hypothesis. Simulation.
So those are ones that we go all up to Pluribus on Apple.
You missed Rick and Morty too.
I'm sure I missed quite a bit.
And
Maybe people will write in and let me know where. But I'm just hitting some highlights, a big landmark merging of ideas, I thought. But you're right. I could go on for probably another 20, 30 minutes listing.
I thought that was your
what we
whole
thought.
thing today. You were going to go through everything that's ever showed up.
Oh boy, wouldn't that be
That's
exciting?
right, yeah. No, I just want to give people some things to think about. Go back, watch the movies, think about what we talked about. And even getting to, I think, Mary's question that you were trying to lead into. I wanted to have that so people can go out, watch Pluberous and see what we're talking about. Give us your opinions. I think it's kind of
And
cool.
hopefully it'll come out on
Yep.
DVD.
Yep. Get it at your
And you
library.
can get it in the library, not just Apple.
Well, exactly. You know, hooray for physical media. But yeah, one of the things that I think is interesting, especially in our culture, the thing that we fear, or at least it's been the big fear for the last 70 plus years, at least, is working together collectively.
Right.
That seems
Right.
to really,
Because we would cut out a lot of middlemen. We would cut out a lot of people that are like money grabbing
yeah,
entities.
in our culture, the I don't know what we aspire to is to be a cowboy, to be alone, to be
Self-sufficient.
self-sufficient, self-contained. And then the culture is giving us these little things like working together is suspicious.
I won't
Right.
be
Yeah,
cowboy.
you know, it's
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So socialism, collectively
Right.
working
Right,
together, it sparks a fear in people, and I think that's very interesting.
I think the thing that's fearful is that you're going to miss out, right? Because because we live in a capitalist. I mean, we're all good Americans. We all were born as capitalists.
We're good.
That's our society. You're
Oh,
not
man.
you're a good capitalist also. You spend your dollars buying things. So, but that's who we are. And so in that type of society, you can really then take people and even some of our divisive politics, I think. I don't get into politics on this show. We can talk in private, but
You don't? I thought we had a whole episode of that.
I don't. But, you know, you have people, I think the thing is that you see people at the top of the heap and then they say, one day you could be like me. And this is why you shouldn't do these things that could benefit you right now to get you on your way to that. And it's really interesting because we bought into this groupthink that this is the path, this is the way we
To be
achieve,
successful.
this is how we become successful. And individuality is a lot of that. Like we can
Right.
do it on our own. We can be the lone wolf. We can be the cowboy.
Right.
And that's bred into American kind of almost all narratives breed into that. And it's this journey that we are stronger as an individual than as a group. And it's really interesting. And in movies, the horror of a lot of them is losing that. And
Being
what happens,
subsumed.
right, when you lose
Yeah.
that, and it is,
Because
it's
you don't
scary.
trust
That's right.
the entity
It's a
that's
next point
taking
that someone's in the lead position. So we all know
Someone
that happens,
has
right?
bad
So it's,
intentions.
we
There
know
are
these
no-
things,
So, Mary, your
But yeah.
question is, I don't know if I totally understand your
Yeah, what is your
question.
maybe it's not a question.
Well, it's not more of a question.
Were
but,
you asking me if
and
I was a
think-
cowboy?
And I think it's,
I'm not a
I think
cowboy.
it's okay. I mean, I think it's right to be suspicious of.
My mother was a cow.
Well, I think it's interesting that
My dad was a
people,
boy.
that the people
Shut
who are
up.
suspicious of a lot of things and believe a lot of conspiracy theories are 100% into something like QAnon, where you can't see who is actually feeding this into the hive mind. And there's no incredulity about that. But anyway, what I wanted to say, is there any idea or any bit of expression that you wish that you could send out into the world that would catch on into the hive mind?
Empathy.
The
Empathy.
Rabbit Hole of Research podcast.
The Rabbit Hole of Research podcast. Yes.
Third
Everyone
one for
listen
this
to it
episode.
every
We
single
want
I need to
day.
millions
delete
of
the third.
listeners.
Smash that subscribe button.
That's right. Yeah, they'll get us out there.
So how about you, Wes? What idea do you think should be out into the wider world?
Yeah, empathy. It's the thing
Yeah.
that we're missing right
Yeah.
now. And the divisiveness in our country right now is at an all-time high. I don't think it's been this divided since Vietnam.
Compassion.
Yeah, civil
Yeah.
rights movement. I think. Yeah,
Civil
it's
rights
big. Yeah,
movement,
yeah,
Vietnam.
yeah.
I think Vietnam and civil rights movement
Got
would
it.
happen at the same time. It's just, okay, I'm biased and I don't want to scare away people that aren't necessarily thinking the way I think. So
That's okay.
Yeah.
Being
We're at a conscious mind, so that's this is what we're here for. Be curious. And,
yeah, there's a lot of things going on that I think the root problem right now is nobody really knows what's true and what's not true. I think the way
yeah.
information is
Right.
distributed
And
now
then-
that nobody really knows who's telling the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a good plug for our one episode.
Yeah, we have
Our only one episode.
on.
We only have one
No,
episode.
we have an episode
Yeah.
on truth
We do, yes,
that I
yes.
think you will enjoy.
With David Detmer.
I think you'll enjoy that one, Wes.
or had enjoyed it if you haven't. 'Cause
Well,
that's
no,
a-
I
Check
don't
it
think
out. I'll listen to
Yeah.
it on the
Yeah.
way home.
But I think, more or less acceptance and
Mhm.
understanding
Right.
of others.
Right.
But I'm really excited. Like this year, we're gonna. Well, we have been doing a garden, but I think that's a perfect example of different people coming together and have a goal in mind and growing things and sharing.
Our own little commune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our
I
own
think
little
that's
cult.
the
Is this the beginning of our cult?
person.
You will not be the leader,
I know.
okay, Nick?
I think I'm the leader.
All right. All right. I'll see.
What
how it
about-
I was going to say,
What about you, Mary? Did you
Yeah.
say?
I had something more specific in mind.
Okay.
I was thinking, I actually heard somebody say this. Wouldn't it be like the last time that they had the Powerball was hit $1 billion
It did,
or
yeah,
something?
a couple times now.
And then they talked about this person is going to get such and such money after taxes. And someone said, why don't we just tax all billionaires like lottery winners?
Yeah.
And I think that would
Yeah.
that would help.
And that's to my point that
Yeah.
we don't do that because people go, one day I'm
Some
going to be a
people
billionaire.
have
Right.
the
And I don't want to get
advantage.
taxed like that. Oof. And then they don't think about it though. Even if you get taxed like that, so you get taxed at whatever, even if 50% of all your money go, you still have 500 million bucks in the bank.
Is that
So you're not going to be struggling like the rest of us here.
Right.
So it's one of these
I can't
things that
afford
it's
that-
really, yeah.
I can't
So,
afford that planet.
That's
I
kind
was
of
gonna buy.
it's one of the things. It's so much money. The numbers are so big. It's like talking about the speed of light. It's such an astronomical number that our brains really can't comprehend. When you start thinking billions, trillions of dollars in money,
You have way.
you really can't
And
even
how are you going to
think
spend
about
all
that.
that?
Right.
You're
You
not
don't.
going to do
Yeah.
anything.
And
with
we're
it.
very deferential
Yeah.
to the people at the top of
That's
this
right.
hierarchy. And
That's
while at the same
Yeah.
time, the suspicion is being bred that
Yeah.
if we start to work together,
Mhm.
that's wrong.
Well, I think
I
it's
feel like Bernie Sanders when I go the top 1%.
Exactly.
well, I think it's like
yeah.
anything when you look at or try to model, and I think Andy J. Pizza talks about this in his podcast, Creative Pep Talk, is that when you try to model yourself, your creative career, art, writing, whatever that may be, any career, it's very hard we want to look at the one-hit wonders and go, they came out the gate, they did big stuff, they got splashed around, they made it.
became a success.
But really, you should be looking at the people, and not even the people you look at as Stephen King. He's here. But look at his early career. What was he doing at the beginning of his career?
Cocaine.
Where you're at. Okay, let's.
No,
Really know where we were going?
You know,
Is that not where we were going?
I'm talking about building his craft, building
Right.
his fan,
He
but working.
worked,
He
yeah.
worked to earn where he's at. So if you look at that point and go, "I'm gonna do that right now," then
No.
you would fail. So everything. So really, that's the problem that we have. We don't look at where people started. Even these billionaires and trillionaires, no one looks at, oh, they got a super head start. Like they inherited $100 million. So of course they're going to have a $1 trillion by now, late in their life. They inherited this money. They inherited something that was done. Go back to that person that they inherited from. What did they start from? How did they work their butts off? How did they use the leverages of
And is
our
that really?
system?
Should that really be our goal to be this?
To be that wealthy.
But if it is your
Yeah.
goal, go back there and understand that. But
No.
I'm just saying,
Anyway.
that's the thing that we don't do. We look at, and the thing that's propagated and put in front of us is the shiny coins. And that's what you should go for. But really, to get to that level, you
But
have
really,
to start.
there's so much
and
more
work
to
your way.
life
That's right.
than having all this
There's
wealth
yes,
and
yeah.
making those human connections.
Yeah.
you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Jordan,
Making
perfect
those memories.
Segue, because I do have a question.
Oh.
Would you join?
When I joined
the
the
Hive.
Hive Mind. I haven't seen the show yet, so
I mean,
I
that's
don't.
just what we talked.
I want,
we
I
talked
want
a lot. Yeah.
48-hour trial, please. Give me 72
No,
hours or
it's
something.
one and done. You join
I'm causing a ruckus.
or you look out. Like you.
I think you're a no, right, Nick?
I'm a definite no.
Nick's-
I'm causing ruckus for everyone involved.
Nick's being taken out.
I probably would. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
Speaking
great question.
In the pluribus model, no, because there's a ton of stuff I would like to do. if
I think
was
that's
on
that's a
Annoying.
true Hive. I think I'm gonna give him credit. I think that's a true Hive model. I like the Borg model, but the true Hive model, as we know in season 1, season 2 could
I
have
think,
some
to be
wrinkles.
honest-
but
I'm giving
season
all the
1,
spoilers.
I'm talking about there's no leader. Everyone shares consciousness. Everyone shares thought. Everyone shares. There is no kind of economic, financial gain or scarcity. We are all in one we're essentially one body with different appendages, as Wes he laid that out perfectly earlier.
Well, they talk about everybody's happy,
Right.
but
Right.
What is happy at that
what
point?
does
Exactly.
that mean?
what concept
What
of
makes
happiness?
you
is?
happy?
it's a monolith, right?
So
It's
for
there is
me-
no everyone's happy because you all think the same. So whatever pleasures me, pleasures you, it's all
And
very
does it matter once
Yeah.
you are the hive mind? You
Yeah.
don't even care then at that point.
That's right. And people who aren't
And I
tethered to the
wanna
hive
say-
mind take advantage
I want to
of
say
this
some
and get
days,
pleasured.
I would join, and
Yeah.
some days I don't want to join.
Just getting
Right.
pleasured by
So
everyone
was that
over
Geor-
here.
sorry.
No, there's a
Georgia?
guy that like has a harem.
I said some days I would want to join, and other
Yeah.
days I wouldn't.
So you got to decide right now. In the episode, we had a good discussion,
I think today
consciousness.
I'm in the more not join.
Okay,
today.
so we're not. Maybe the mini will do it.
I feel like more
I think I'm
information
giving everyone-
needs to be had.
Mary,
I
how
think.
about you and your yoga?
She doesn't
Are you
have
getting
enough
your yogis?
info.
I think that I would like to know more about the collective.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
have some questions. I like joining collective. I like joining
Yeah.
collective efforts. The rabbit hole of research is a collective effort.
It is.
I mean,
We
well,
are.
it
Stay
started with
curious.
one
We're called,
idea,
thank you.
but
And Joe's
you
the
know.
leader. Nick's
But-
the leader.
He's only the
And-
puppet.
and-
No, yeah, right.
but
I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
People
yeah.
don't have video.
yeah.
But I noticed Mary for the whole episode
Had
had
a
a name tag
I
on that
thought
said
I
Mary.
saw that. And I'm
We
like,
started talking about individuality and joining the collective.
I
She
took it
ripped it
off.
off.
Well,
was
yeah,
it there from the start?
I
It was,
realized,
yeah.
I realized I still had my name tag on from the Midwest Slot Car Show.
I noticed it. I
So the
was
day
like,
that this is being recorded, if this survives the edit, this is the thing that got me in that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
It
saw
was really
I saw it
funny.
and I thought, where's my name tag?
Exactly. Why do I have a name? And I just realized
I
like
thought
2
you put that
minutes
on for
ago
the
that I
pictures before
still
the show.
that I still had it on. And I'm like, oh, for heaven's
Yeah.
sakes, why do you still have this on? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
And so, just to be fair, I'll answer. I would not. I don't think I would join.
Wow, I'm
the
shocked.
consciousness. Yeah,
You
I
like
do.
being an individual too much.
I do. I love being an individual. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Joe, I
so
thought you were
I would
all
have to go
about
with the.
He's a
If it's the
cowboy.
if it's the you-centric, the you-social model collective, then I would want to be not a drone worker, but the actual. I'd want to be the king.
Oh, so you want to be all right?
everybody, yeah,
That's when you're trying to get everyone in on it.
it's good to be God.
On that note,
Start a cult.
Yeah.
The cult of Joe.
Well, thank you so much, Wes, for being here again.
Definitely. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry I had to cancel the last episode.
I'm glad you're
Last
feeling better.
recording day.
Yeah.
Norovirus.
Oh,
Norovirus was trying to get you into the collective.
probably. But I won
he fought back.
and I gave it hell.
Excellent. All right. So you got me, Joe.
Yeah, I got Nick.
Still.
Georgia.
You got Mary.
Still.
And
Yeah.
Wes is your guest today.
Mess.
And we went down. Oh.
And we're still us
Some
people.
collective
Stay
holes
curious.
or holes.
Stay you.
Bye-bye.